His Excellency, President ya Republic ya Africa Borwa, Ntate Jacob Zuma, Deputy President, Ntate Ramaphosa, all protocol observed. Batho ba ba tlotlegang, the chief mourners, batho ba huhudi, dumelang. I must apologize up front. This is the most difficult time of my life. So in the process, if I make mistakes, please do bear with me. My name is Cindy Ngaba. I'm Cindy Senior. We are all here to reflect on an incomparable life. When faced with the question, who is Ruth Mompati? I am quickly reminded of the fact that before there was a Ruth Mompati, there was a little girl born in Khanyisa village to baby and Khaunyatsi Chok. I think it is important to outline her beginnings and to demystify Mompati's surname legend, because she only adopted it in exile. Actually, her roots gets ako Kharasi Chok. Nobody guessed that Sekgomotsi Sichoko was going to set the world on fire. She was the fourth of 5 children. Unfortunately, her 2 brothers died when they were very young, leaving 3 sisters: Dinah, my mother, Ruth, Ruta, and Poloko, the inseparable trio. They were incredibly close, an example of what it is to love and support each other unconditionally. To that end, between the 3 of them, they had 4 children. Now may I request you to listen carefully. They had 4 children, fostered by 9 months in different bellies, but raised by all 3 as one unit. Ultimately, one womb, one force of mother. If I may steal from the tribute paid by Os Elena Sisulu, this was an exceptional example of shared parenting. Unbeknown to them, this parenting choice they made was to ensure the safety and well-being of their family unit. As Poloko, the youngest sister, passed suddenly, and 2 years later, Ruth went to exile, leaving all of us children with my mother, Dinah. My mother and my father raised all of us as siblings. Tembi, being the responsible older sister, Temba's mother. Mompati, the quiet and protective big brother. And Tebogo, my slightly older but mischievous brother. I regret to inform you that from my grandparents' household, ka mantswe a mangwe, go tswa mo thitong ya ga Raisaka le Maisaka, Ruth is the last of the first generation. All my siblings have passed, making me the only survivor of the second generation. Thankfully, between my siblings and I, there are 8 grandchildren and 1 great-grandchild. so the legacy lives on. I trust that by now, all of you have gathered that we are a very close-knit family. And what is the point? The point is that Ruth is my mother. She's not my mother-in-law, by the way, journalists. She guided me fiercely from the day I was born. She always brags that she set eyes on me before my mother did. And she did that throughout her life, even if it meant remote controlling my mother from exile. So, the responsibility to look after her in her old age was without a doubt mine. A responsibility I took on with love and pride. In looking back, I can say, what a privilege. What an honor to be able to allow one's mother to pass on to the other side with dignity and integrity. Who else amongst you can say they have had the privilege of holding 3 of their folks' hands as they gently departed? I did. Mama Ruth was very proud of where she came from, and she loved her family dearly. When I refer to family in this instance, ke bua ka Bora Seichoko, Dumelang Bakhatla, ke bua ka Bora Parkins, ke bua ka Bora St. Quentin, ke bua ka Makgowa Maskotche Bora Denison, ke bua ka Bora Mola Pen, ke bua ka Bora Muirwagali go Botswana, ke bua ka Bora Boshwaeng go Botswana. She adored all the children of these families and considered them all her grandchildren. There's an old saying that goes, when an old person dies, a library burns down. That is certainly the case in our family. Mani Ruta was the elder, our furthest reach into history, our strongest root. She has left a huge, huge void, and it is going to take a while for us to deal with it. I would also like to point out to you, ladies and gentlemen, that she did have a wide definition of what family was because of the nature of her life, of the life she lived. Throughout her life, especially through her work of the ANC, she met so many people. I could see so many familiar faces, my brothers, my sisters, and was loved so dearly that many people became family through time and shared hardship. Amongst these, there are children she raised in exile, as well as children she adopted upon her return. All you need to do, ladies and gentlemen, is to just look around this venue to see her entire family. To the Vryburg community, but Varona ba mo gae, I would like to tell you what you already know. She loved you all so, so much. After spending years in exile, she could have chosen to settle but anywhere in the world. But she chose to return to you. She believed in the very essence of this little town, the resilience of these beautiful people, and the warmth of its soil. Yes, she loved her home. To the entire nation and the ANC family, I would like you to know that she loved you too. She never stopped believing in this country and all of its potential. When she was in hospital recently, she told Archbishop Mokhoba that she has not finished the program for this country because people have not liberated themselves. As far as Ruth was concerned, democracy may have been achieved, but her dream for a better life for all, not quite yet. May I take this opportunity, as there will not be an opportunity like this again, to tell you all about what she meant to me personally. She was first and foremost my mother and my partner. Ru, as I affectionately called her sometimes. Ru and I were very close as the last two remaining members of our old family guard. Ours was a connection so deep that we innately knew what the other one was thinking. We presented such a formidable partnership that we navigated storms ranging from death of my siblings, subsequent death of my parents, life-threatening diseases, and we just found a way to move forward. In losing her, I've lost my best friend, my twin sister, my travel partner, my guru, my daughter, and my confidant. She had an unrivaled sense of adventure, even at her age. She was so young at heart. We traveled. We had a beauty regime, pedicures, manicures, facials, dining out. Oh, as for shopping sprees, we would just get lost and giggle like little girls. And even if it meant getting a wheelchair in a Mumbai shopping complex and pushing her the whole day, we would do just that. The best trips that we have done so far were booking ourselves in an Ayurvedic spa and yoga clinic in India for the whole month. That was the best bonding session. I was hoping that they would play images here. She was such an inspiration. She was not intimidated by any yoga pose. I don't know when next I might see an 88, 89-year-old woman suspended upside down in the air. Headstand, shoulder stand. Of course, typical Maruth's fashion, she earned herself a title in India, Amaji, after putting up a fierce fight with a yoga master. I was hoping that they would put up the images to inspire you to explore more possibilities. The last 3 weeks have certainly been challenging, but not without beautiful moments. I can tell you all with joy in my heart that Mama Ruth applied the same dignified glory in her passing as she did in her life. Upon realizing that she was very ill and soon to go, she was incredibly accepting of the fact, and in true Ruth fashion, she got worrying about those of us who love her and how we would cope. She was not at all concerned about what might meet her on the other side, because she knew her sisters, the loved ones, and her comrades were waiting for her. Allow me to share just a little bit of her last moments. It became very clear to me that she needed me by her side 24/7, and I obliged. I literally moved into hospital with her. During that period, indeed, I wasn't ready to let go. But Ru, being the wiser of us, used the opportunity to tell me everything she wanted to. She gave me strict instructions on how to go on and how to continue piloting our twin-engine family guard with one engine. I wasn't quite alone though, as Lindy and Bushi came to help to share the shifts in hospital. And those were 24-hour shifts, which we executed with love and gratitude. At some stage, we brought all grandchildren, which made her very, very happy. She said it's the best thing that ever happened to her. She spoke to each one of the grandchildren individually and collectively. I'm talking about an uninterrupted speech of about 45 minutes, which she ended with how much she loved all of us, how she would always hold us dear and close to her heart. And I must tell you, she was lucid right up to the end. She often asked me, "But why won't you allow me to go home?" And of course, because I was in denial, I wasn't getting it. I could only interpret it afterwards that I was holding her. To my 8 children and my grandchild, I just want to tell you how blessed we are and that we have a very special gift that our mother and us were afforded an opportunity to say goodbye. And I would like you children to remember all the promises that we made, the undertakings we gave him, that we are going to look after one another, that education is key. I would like to thank you at this stage for your patience and for rallying behind me. Lindy, Bushi, thank you for being there for your mother and sharing the most memorable moments with me. By the way, I did notice that the frown and the worry on her forehead disappeared as soon as you assured her that you will be there for myself and the children. Thank you. Daiki, it is not a mistake that you are the family spokesperson. You know that you, Tandi, Dav, Sasa, Boreba Bone, Ma Ankisi, Ausadi, you know that you have always been her children and she counted on you. Mpule wa ga ditšhwene, ke a leboga ngwanyana ka go tlhokomela rakgadi yago, ke leboga bopelotelele jwa gago. Vuiswa, Miss Ngaba, thank you for looking after your granny. Enkosi Khumalo. Dr. Fansey, the team of doctors and nursing staff at 2 Military. I know she did take a moment to thank all of you. But once more, I would like to tell you that we did notice that you went all out of your way and you did everything you could. And for that, we are eternally grateful. Bana ba Garuta, Bo aus Maite, Laikitsi, bo aus Nkosazana, bo aus Tandi, bo aus Mavis, bo aus Ruthie, bo aus Barbara, bo buti Maxi, bo buti Mavuso. Oh, the list is endless. I am so grateful that though I'm the last surviving second generation, I have a big family out of you. And I really appreciate your love and your support. Honorable President and the government, we are so grateful for acknowledging our mother, for acknowledging our mother's contribution and honoring her with this out-of-the-world funeral. It is the first in Vryburg, and I don't know whether there will be another one. Thank you. Greg, we've been on this journey since 2004. You have been amazing. I think it's about time that we journal and write a book. Thank you for your patience. All my friends, Beverly, and all of the town, thank you. Now the best for last. The message to my best friend, my mother, Mama Ruth. You have taught me the best lessons. Amongst others, it's independence, self-sufficiency, to speak and stand for my truth. That when all else fails, my integrity is the only thing I should preserve and take to the grave. You have taught me love, humility, to be comfortable in my own skin. And together, through our spiritual journey, we have learned to pause and listen internally and determine if it's ego speaking or if it is our authentic selves. And if it is ego speaking, we back off. Indeed, it is easy for others to say you were old, but to me, you were everything. I am so lost without you. I pray to God to ease my pain and guide me to take the next step. It has been an absolute honor and privilege to look after you and hold your hand as you gently passed. The last 3 weeks of your life remain imprinted in my heart. Yes, you said everything, and we loved each other. I promised to protect and preserve your dignity. I trust I have executed that to your approval. I love you, Ruth. Thank you.